Sveiki, ateitį žiūrovai, netrukus girdėsite interviu su vienu laukiamiausių konferencijos LOGIN 2018 pranešėjų Raj Kapoor. Raj yra vyriausiasis įmonės Lyft strategas, jos autonominių automobilių divizijos vadas. Įmonė Lyft teikia pavėžėjimo paslaugas Jungtinėse Amerikos valstijose ir Kanadoje, veikia panašiai kaip jos pagrindinė konkurentė Uber. Raj, ką tik ant LOGIN scenos kalbėjo apie automobilių ir keliavimo ateitį. Jis tą ateitį ir kuria, todėl pasikalbėti su juo bus tikrai labai įdomu. I want to begin with, in your presentation you gave a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics. It's a pity that the viewers can't see it now. But what facts, what numbers about nowadays transportation shocks you the most? What do you think is the most important?
What I think strikes me the most is that cars in the United States are only utilized 4% of the time. And they cost anywhere from $8,500 to $9,000 a year in total cost to operate. So it is something that is, it's the second largest cost for a household in the US. And for something that's being used so little to cost so much just doesn't make sense. So we are ready for a change. And the fact that if you look at cities and that 14% of the cities are parking and that most of the cars that are there are single occupancy, that's also a problem.
We can see that around here. It's all
yes,
parking
lots
lot
of congestion,
lots
of emissions, carbon emissions that hurt the environment. So you look at all those things together, and those are the reasons why there should be a transportation revolution.
The transportation revolution is first about self-driving cars or peer-to-peer drivers?
I think it is a combination of factors, and that's what makes it unique. Just like a mobile phone is not just about the chip, it's about the software, it's about the communication, it's about the network. So the things that make up the transportation revolution are self-driving, because it's safer, it brings the cost down, it's more reliable. Second is electric. We move to electric vehicles. It's better for the environment. It's also more economical because there's less moving parts, it's more reliable, the car, in doing it. Third is the use case of shared. So instead of having one person in the car, an autonomous vehicle can pick up multiple people that are going the same direction like a bus that can do it, but on demand. And then the fourth is on demand, which is the ride sharing and the ability to use your phone to call for a ride wherever you are, anytime, anywhere.
Mm-hmm. When people think about self-driving cars, the first thought is like, I can drive freely. But there are a lot of second-order effects that you talked about in your presentation that people don't really think about so much, about the context. What are the impact of automatization is going to have on society, like second-order effects?
You know, the one that's often stated is there will be a significant change of jobs, right? So many people, in fact, it's probably one of the top jobs in the United States is driving overall, whether it's deliveries, taxi, or whatever the situation is. But I think the nature of jobs will change. There will be new jobs that will be created through automation that will be there. Another impact is all of the industries that touch automobile ownership. So for example, car insurance, used car sales, also auto loans, which is $1.2 trillion in the United States. Even things like driver's licenses, which are required for identification. More and more people don't need their driver's license because the car drives itself. So how do you identify when you're going into a bar or you're going to the hospital or anywhere?
You also mentioned such things as organ donors, that most of them had car accidents, and also the tax that is being paid for speeding tickets or parking tickets. Is that so? So even the tax system has to change.
Yes, the tax system, you know, city taxes are sometimes dependent on a gasoline tax. If we move to electric, then that's changing. And if the cars are obeying all the laws, then what happens? And if you don't need the parking as much, then you don't have the parking violations or the parking fees to pay to park in a city. So I think the nature of those things will change, but also the cost to run a city will change. Less cars means less cost. Moving from gas to electric means healthier society, less healthcare costs that are there. Less accidents means less costs of the police and the paramedics and others. So I think there'll be also things that reduce the cost.
Okay. And what are the needs of consumers when you talk about self-driving cars? What do they want?
What they care about most is safety. When they go into a vehicle, getting reliably from point A to point B, wherever that is. Reliable means that when I open my phone, within a few minutes, I know I can get a vehicle, and that it will take me there in a predictable time that I need to get there in doing it. And then they also care about the experience. And up till now, automobiles have been one automobile that can do many, many different cases. Now we can have a car that is optimized to watch a movie. Another one could be about sleeping. Just like airlines have different cabins that are there.
Different classes. Even.
Different classes. And so you can offer that in ride sharing because otherwise you would have to own 10 different cars. Now you can just call the car you need for the use case. If I have 6 people I want to take to a party or a soccer game, I can do that. If it's just myself and my partner on a romantic evening, I can have a candlelit car that comes to me.
Sounds romantic.
Yes.
And who is going to own all these cars, all these self-driving cars? Is it going to be like Airbnb? Maybe I have 3 cars, I also get money from that? Or other companies, the private companies going to own them?
I think first there will be fleets like us, ride sharing, that it makes sense for us to purchase these cars or get them financed by outside firms. And we will own the vehicles because we can utilize them the best. We can make sure the car is being used all the time. Eventually, as the technology gets better, consumers may want to also have exclusive use of a vehicle, and it'll look like a lease. And so there will be that, but they will still need to be attached to a network because they need to be maintained. And there's now a car is like a phone with a computer in it that needs to be upgraded. Software needs to be fixed.
I've never been myself in a self-driving car. How do you think, the first time I go into it, how is going to be my experience? And when is it going to happen?
I think, first of all, how is it going to happen? I believe it'll first happen because you'll call a ride on your phone, whatever the service is, wherever you are. So then what you're going to be looking for when you first do a ride is 2 questions that matter a lot. One is, what is this car seeing? Because you want to make sure that the car, you have to give confidence and trust in the car. And the second question you will ask is the car reacting in the way that I would?
Yeah, it's scary in the first time.
Yes, the first time you'll be curious, you may be scared, and after a few times that you understand that this car is seeing the things that I see, and it's reacting in a good way, then you build trust for it and you can relax and open Spotify or Netflix. And
possibly I'll see that in a screen here in front of me?
Yes, you may have a screen in front of you, which is what we've developed to do that, which builds that trust that's there. So I think that's going to be important. And when is it happening? We're live with our partners in Las Vegas right now. And we're going to be rolling out over time. I think it's going to be a gradual rollout into cities. And I showed a slide in the presentation. There's at least 40 self-driving trials happening all over the world, not just the United States.
Yeah, but are we talking in 2-3 years or
well,
5-10 years?
I would say today you can get vehicles in certain cities, like in Las Vegas, and that will continue to roll out from today. So it's not 2-3 years away, it's now.
Okay, so it's already starting.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a great interview. For the viewers, kalbėjome su Raj Kapoor, kuris yra vyriausiasis įmonės Lyft strategas. Jis ką tik skaitė pranešimą apie tai, kaip atrodys transporto ateitis. Ačiū labai. Thank you.
Thank you.